Alright, so this is a little test of a few new features that will be going into the second version of Fruitarian. I've got this set up in kind of a tested out mode. First of all, our little guy moves a little bit quicker, and when the ball hits things, it now has kind of a contraction animation, which is not perfect yet, but it's at least animating something, so that's good. And in this mode I can spawn a bunch of balls if I want to. But the important thing we're going to see here is these new bricks that are around this fruit can be hit. And when they're hit, they will change colors. And different bricks have different integrity. That means it takes more and more hits of balls to change their colors to the point where they break apart and the fruit is then accessible. So it's kind of a very similar to the original Breakout game on which this one is based, and also it was actually more inspired by the special stages from the original Sonic the Hedgehog. But alright, tap enter to go to the next screen. Here we've got some windmills. The windmills are just solid objects that are flipping around in the environment, and they use physics. So when we try and hit at a fruit, the results can be kind of weird, especially because the fruit will all hit each other. Trying to catch them can get a little hazardous, but it has some cool possibilities, and it's just kind of fun to play around with too. I like spawning a lot of balls in here and just seeing what happens. Alright, next we have here a character who is tentatively being called the Fruitarian. He's just kind of a lump that sits there on the tree, but he's also my first experiment in animation. So as his name implies, much like the Fruitarian, he eats the thing that precedes the Tarian in his name, which is the ball. So our Fruitarian will eat the ball if it comes too close to him. So there's a little 1 second animation there, and the gross bits of the ball come out of his mouth via particles, and that's about it. I also drew that nice branch for him to sit on. And here we have my pretty much the single reason I decided to set out and do this remake of Fruitarian a week after I'm done with it, and that is the banana. So what happens with the banana is there's a bunch and it hangs there. Well, when you hit the bunch breaks apart into multiple bananas, and then you got to kind of run around and catch as many bananas as you can in the meantime. And ideally, if there were a bunch of bananas and obstacles in there, that would become a really interesting situation real fast. So